We are at the Senior Center, Overgaard, Arizona, 85933. I'm Terry Rutherford, and we are the Amigos Brotherhood Charities. We're sitting here today with Phyllis from the Senior Center of Heber-Overgaard. What are we talking about today, Phyllis? Who are you?
I am Phyllis Ault, and I'm the board president for the Rim Country Senior Center.
Good. Nice to have you here.
Yes, absolutely.
We're going to be talking about your recycle program, and we're going to talk about Addie's Thrift Shop today. And anything else that you think you want to add to what we're doing here today, feel free to talk.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Well, I know you can do that.
Okay, get me in trouble. Yes, I can. So the first thing for Addie's, we'd like to identify a couple things. February, she's going to have a clean out of the she shed and Addie's. Everything is half off in both locations.
Wow.
So come in and help us get cleaned out from last year and ready for the new stuff for this year.
I saw a nice jacket at Addie's, a brown leather jacket. Could I put it on layaway till February?
Of next year? You can talk to Addie about our layaway program.
Layaway program.
But usually here at Senior Center, we're the ones that get put laid away. But anyway, yes, you can double check with her. The other thing I'd like to point out at Addie's and in the center, there are only 4 paid positions here. Everything is run by volunteers, and our volunteers in Addie's, the majority have over 10 plus years that they've been working with us.
Wow.
Carrie has come onto the board before I did. So she may even be our oldest board member right now that has been on our board, and she's been very active and has been in Addie's that whole time.
You know how you can tell you have a pretty good organization?
How?
Retention of employees or volunteers in this case. Mm-hmm. And that's amazing. 10 years.
Yeah. I don't know what we'll do. It's going to be kind of weird when we send a generation out to bring in the next generations coming in.
Oh!
Yeah, cycle of life. So every donation, everything you buy, all the funds that go into Addie's all stays here. Addie's is our second biggest producer of our funding dollars we have, and they run pretty close to our NACOG contract in funding. So they make up a good 2/3 of what it takes for us to have to operate here.
That's fantastic. It's a good money income.
Yes, it
you.
is.
And
Right,
so it's very beneficial to the community also.
Yeah, so as you know, and I mean, as we all say and look at prices, you just need to know that everything you do there stays here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's the key.
So that kind of concludes Addie's. Again, bring your donations. They're open Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They're open 9 to 1 o'clock. We take donations only when they're open. And then as you donate, go buy more to fill back up what you cleaned out.
So go get that jacket, Terry.
Yes.
Good attitude.
Yes. So in the can recycling, that area, I have to say, I really had never dabbled in wholly as the board and what to do. It's been a program we've done here from day one of recycling. I can take out little horse tables that they built up to show you how we first started recycling. We had 12 of these little stations with little one-hand crushers, and we would have 12 people lined up. They'd have to look at special stamping, what got more money, what could be recycled.
Wait, so there's a difference in aluminum weight? Is that what you're saying?
It used to be.
Oh.
There used to be. And recycling's come a long way. You used to have to smash your cans. You only had certain cans. Certain cans got you more money. And then again, we would have the individual stations. We would have 12, 15, 20 people here trying to recycle. This has evolved. And a year ago, Dee Ramone came to me, it was 2 years ago, and said to me, if I get money to clean up that compactor down by your area down by the compactor, would you do that? She'd get me a grant, I'll do whatever the grant's for, right?
Right, yeah.
So that lady walked in and said, here, you got a grant, $6,000.
Nice.
Figure out what you can do. Shit, I don't know what they do over in recycling. I never paid attention to it. So we had board members and we all came together. Everything here, a lot of it is done, and I'm very supported by the board. and it's all done as a board of 8 people to put together what we do. And so a couple board members came up with an idea of doing a can crusher, getting recycling bins. So we have bins that this trash can go into, the cans, not bags being thrown out with the wind and carried over the community. So that's $6,000. I think the senior center put in $1,000. She actually asked for $7,000, and it would have been perfect. We got a can crusher. That's a commercial crusher.
Wow.
We bought, I think, 20 recycling cans. We get them out to the community over the summer. Anybody that has an event, they know they're going to have cans. We'll get one out there. You can use it to recycle, bring the bag back, pour it here or at the compactor. And then we have about 4 people who come in, and they take all that, they sort it, they get the contraband out, smash it, and we're taking over 800 to 900 pounds per trip to the when we go recycle. We make almost $300 and some per load.
Wow. And how often is that?
They go in the summer almost every 3 weeks. In the winter, they can go about every month and a half. The problem we did learn in the winter recycling is the hydraulics in the compactor doesn't work so well when it's really cold, so they have to pick a day they can get some warmth to get the hydraulics to work.
Yeah, the oil gets too thick.
And then we were able to get it completely enclosed and put a shed around it to protect the compactor from the elements of the weather.
So is that here?
It's right off of our medical closet on the other side.
All right.
So that has cleaned up our community. It's cleaned up the compactor. It's a revenue generator of $5,000 to $7,000, depending on what we get back.
That's
And
awesome.
And we keep it all recycled up here. We go over to Snowflake to Ponte Villas
Okay.
is where it's carried to, because it's not worth getting it to the community, down to the valley for more money when
You're
you have
just
to
paying
pay.
in gas and things like that.
Exactly.
So your recycling equipment that you got the grant for and everything, how many jobs did that take away from here?
Actually, when we did that, we took that down to probably needing 10 to 15 people. We would put out every Friday to come in to, we have 3 or 4 that work together. We pay the couple $12. They use their vehicle and they take it off of the money they get. They record their wear and tear for their vehicle, and then they, bring the rest here.
Good, very good.
All right.
Because we want to compensate them. It actually saved us not having to pay for a vehicle.
That's
too.
good, yeah.
I got rid of a van that we were using that was costing us more money, and it was not a practical van for delivering food. And that whole insurance cost completely went away.
Oh, good. That's 'cause we recycle at Fat Jack's, don't we?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Well, if you tell us what you drink, we'll figure
there.
out which bag is yours.
You would know right away.
Yeah. We do have some specialty drinks that we take care of.
Yep.
Oh my God, I never knew what kind of drinks were out there. You got everything, sodas, juices, teas. It's amazing.
Yes.
It's amazing. But like I said, if you're doing 800-900 pounds per run, that's a lot of cans that could
It is.
definitely being kept out of the landfill, being kept out of the forest, and it's producing an income.
You
And I
can't
wa-
beat it.
I want to make sure that I understand that you guys crush all of the cans here, and then what do you put them in to transport them?
So they're bagged, or however we get them. They put them into the blue cans. They sort through, and then they're all put into like the 50-gallon black bags.
Okay.
We have cages set up. They can be stored till they have enough to do a full load, so they can continually keeping it in and cycled.
All right, good.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
good.
But it's probably, like I said, a good $5,000 extra revenue. And, who wants to get
That's
paid for waste, right?
right.
Good idea.
So we would like to find somebody, not us, that does cardboard and glass, but, those start getting into a different avenue when you get to those recyclings.
Yeah.
I've seen those big, I don't know what you call bundles of cardboard going down the road. I mean, those things are huge with big bands around them and everything. So,
All right. I believe the community garden is using some cardboard this year because they moved and they need to reline a lot of the beds, so there may be a
flower
need there.
beds or growing beds. Yeah.
All right.
And speaking of the community garden, they have allowed us the last few years since they opened to have a free bed. And we do garden down there with them.
Okay.
And we bring the garden vegetables that we get and we offer them to the congregate lunch. And they can come, we'll put them on the table, and they take whatever vegetables and stuff we grow.
Right.
I use all my herbs from the community garden when I do my spaghetti sauces.
And you're going to tell us where the community garden is located.
The community garden just got moved. It's ran by Hocorn, and it just got moved out of Heber by the high school over back behind Meadows over here off of Mogian.
Okay, Mountain Meadows.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So we really
That's
appreciate
the dome school.
Mm-hmm.
Over by the compactor.
Yeah.
Compactor.
Yep, so that'll be perfect.
Now they have big cardboard bins over the compactor. You know
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So we take a lot of that when we break it down over there.
Good deal.
But yeah, that was really an interesting project. I will tell you, working with the state on grants for $6,000, that probably was one of my toughest grants in reporting. And the reason it was a lot harder is I had to work with an electrician, I had to work with a builder, and all this had to be bought by certain times, had to be done by certain times, had to be reported every quarter. If you bought something out of line, you didn't use it, you lost your funding for it. It was just
God.
definitely quite interesting for $6,000. But I have to say the outcome came exactly how I thought I wanted the outcome to come.
Oh, that's awesome, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's important.
Hey,
Yep.
when you work with those kind of figures, you got to be right on top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Good.
We actually had a thing through Arizona Quality, it's AZDEQ, that we got the grant through, and we got a phone call from another small community. They were
Really?
very impressed how we used that little bit of money and made that big of an impact.
Yeah, that's a big impact. That's a
Mm-hmm.
big impact.
Yeah. So that we're very happy. That's been the recycling has been a project here from before I came up here in 2016. So it's been here a long time.
What was we were talking last time, we were kind of talking about the medical, dental, stuff like that. You were kind of touching
Yeah.
bases on that.
So since we reinvented ourselves coming out of COVID, and I will say some of the projects we've been able to offer and benefits to our volunteers and to our members, Dick Ingram and Dee McCloskey put together and worked with a organization. It's a membership program called MASA,
Yep.
and it's a medical airvac program.
Right.
We are the only hybrid in all of the United States that is allowed to use that program. We have special pricing. We do not do anything other than send them a check. We track everything through their computer ourselves for our members. And they have allowed us and said they will let us keep that program. Because a retail guy came in for 3 years in a row and kept telling us he was going to take that program away from us. Because he felt seniors.
Commissions.
Yes. Well, it is because those are $1,000 programs. And, our members pay $160 for family or themselves if they're an independent. And, you're not at a trauma center up here. You're going to get flown out of
Right.
here. So we've heard some successful stories of people, the money they've saved.
So how do they come and do that? Do they just come down and fill out an application?
Yeah, so to eat lunch here at our center, Monday to Friday, there's no membership required. We're open to the whole community. We have special programs we put people over 60 on because we cater toward really our purpose is to work with the senior community, but it takes the whole community to do that. And what we've done is we've done the MASA program. We've opened up a dental vision program. We have a membership program to get into those, and our membership is July 1 of every year to June 30th. And so basically you come in June, you enroll here, you sign up if you want the beam dental, you want vision, you want the MASA. We try to do all those enrollments at that time.
Okay.
However, with that said, we're a transitory community and not everybody comes up here in June. So we've allowed those programs to be prorated, and we will prorate and put you into these programs and get you in through the year. If you come up in December, we'll prorate you for 5 months, and then you'll join for the whole year in June when you renew.
So is there a breakdown of the medical coverage and what it is? And
Now, the dental vision is an actual insurance, and it has to be done by Laughlin Insurance because we are not insurance agents. You're just allowed to have that benefit through a volunteer position or membership with us, but she has to quote you her price. We have the material that you can go through to their website to register and look at what you're offered. And then if you have questions, we put you in contact with Celia Laughlin, who runs that program. Because insurance, we can't, if we're not licensed, we have to be careful. The MASA program is not an insurance program, it's a membership program. And so that we can work with anytime. So it depends.
But the medical, that's what I was kind of wondering, because it's like my wife is going to need medical one of these days because I want to retire.
Right. So we don't really do medical. So when you get over 65, you're like the rest of us. You go on to Medicare. We have a number through NACOG who is not a salesperson to help you maneuver Medicare up here. So we're not involved in any of it. These are just supplementals that help with dental, vision, and or the membership for when you need it and you're flown to the valley, you can have a house to come back to.
Okay.
We've had people with $50,000 residual balances on these
I've heard
airbags.
I've heard of $60,000, $80,000 bills coming in.
Yeah. And I have to say, Dee was just very out in front of this to help the community because he knew if we couldn't pay these bills, we wouldn't have these services.
Right.
And he knew people wouldn't have homes to come back to if they 9 out of 10 could not afford to pay those bills.
Right.
And that. So we've been very blessed to be able to have been keep them and to add on to them to offer benefits to the members and the volunteers.
That's just great. I think everybody should take advantage of that if you can.
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, it is. It's really nice, especially because a lot of that we don't have as we get into Medicare. We lose those type of coverages.
Yeah. So the 160 would be, so if it was just my wife and I, it would cover both of us?
Yeah, so if let's say you come in as a couple, you have you and your wife, you're coming in June, and you're like, I'm really interested in this MASA airback. My Medicare doesn't pay everything, and I don't want to deal with surprise billing. And I want to join your center. So you and your wife would pay $200. You're going to pay $20 each to become a member of the center, and then your premium would be $160.
Okay.
If you were not married and you're in a domestic partnership, we can also keep you on the same policy. We have riders that will allow you to attest that you're in a domestic partnership.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Because there are a lot of seniors who can't get married because they lose a lot of benefits.
Yeah.
Or they were married and they
Yes.
they get divorced so they can get the better benefits.
Yeah. And
How's that work, Terry?
So we do have the ability to help. And then if not, and you're caring for a family member, that member you're caring for would have their own policy, and then you would have your own policy. So it's not a policy to cover anyone in the home. It's only to cover anyone who is your dependent.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah. And a dependent, would that be, if they have
You go to your tax return. That'll tell you who your dependents are.
children and things like that?
If they're on your
If
tax
they're on
return.
your tax returns. Okay.
Some children stay
That's-
dependents forever, but don't always go to your tax return.
Right. I understand that.
I know a few people like that.
No.
So I wanted to ask you about this continental breakfast bags that you guys are doing starting in January the 15th. Well, the 5th, So it's already started and runs until March. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. So we saw, and actually this came from the restaurants.
The restaurants here in town?
Yes,
Nope.
Pit Stop Pizza. Jim came to us right after COVID and was concerned about food. He knows that we don't have a lot of people in the community in the winters. We have shut-offs. And he wanted to get some type of breakfast program for these people to have at home. And so not understanding, we don't follow an economic problem. We follow people that have an issue being able to stand, memory, cooking. We have hospice type patients.
Disabilities.
Yes. And therefore, we didn't want to get into hot breakfast, having them cook and stuff. But I did, and the board felt that there was a need to help with extra food around that time for taking pills, medications, and stuff. And the hardest time of our shut-ins are January to March, of having socialization, people around, neighbors bringing extra things and stuff.
Right.
So they put together a program, and it kind of ran out of funding, but we saw the need. So we finished funding it the very first year we did this, I think our 4th year of doing it, and we found new funders. We felt that the restaurants was not a good choice to fund because the restaurants can barely maintain themselves in these winter months, and we want them here,
Right.
So we found some other groups, and Hocorn has come in and for 3 years now has funded this program with us.
Wow.
And we put together a continental breakfast. We found out breakfast is the highest sugar content
Meal of the
and
day.
it really has taken us a long time every year to try to refine items to find that don't have the sugar contents and that. But we put together about 9-10 items. We've gotten into fruit now. We do little bottles of water, try to help get crystal lights and things for electrolytes for people to drink, and just have hot oatmeals in their house to take medicines and stuff.
Okay.
And we just had a gentleman today pick up his meal. If they're on Meals on Wheels and they can't make it in, they can ask us if they can come in later and pick it up while we're open, because they may have an appointment right at their delivery time. And he just loves it. It's just great, having it. And so for those that dine into our center, if you eat here 3 times in a week, you can also take one home as a dine-in customer.
Nice. Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, some very beneficial programs for seniors here. I applaud you for that.
Yeah.
Can we get some applause? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, we can.
Yeah, all right.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you. Jack's off today,
For a couple hours.
hours anyway.
He's not off on Friday only, huh?
He's usually only off all day Friday and all day Monday.
Mondays.
He has a little spare time to put in with our podcast, so
Good.
we like it.
Good.
Always try to make time. Community is important.
Yes, it is. It is. I've been very fortunate to be involved in this center since 2017. I came in as a Meals on Wheels driver.
Oh.
And when Dick stepped down in 2020, somewhere in there, I was on the board, and he weaseled me up to VP, I think, knowing what he was going to do. But anyway.
He had a plan.
He had a plan, and I didn't know I was part of that plan.
I love it.
But being part of that plan, here I am. And I just could not. I mean, living in the Bay Area, I didn't know my neighbor. I met a neighbor 18 years after I lived across the street from him.
Wow.
Seriously.
That's crazy.
So to come here and to be part of a community again, it's just, like my sister said one time, she goes, we moved from a community to a city.
A city.
And she goes, I go grocery shopping and I'd be so depressed. Nobody knew me. And here, you run into the same people at the post office, at the store, and that's the sense of the community, is we know each other, we know our help, our needs, who we can call on. And I don't know why. I pass out in a hospital if you show me blood, anything. But to sit with these seniors in a hospice transition care, it's a whole different sense of the aging process.
Yes.
And that. In the cities, we don't see people have been married 67 years. We don't see people living till 90, 93, 95, 100. And it's just amazing how well we take care of our seniors to live that long.
Yeah. I mean, that's both my parents were on hospice, in-home hospice stuff. But they were married 72 years. They were one of the first couples to go into the Library of Congress.
Oh, my. Oh, my. But it's just neat, and it's our goal to allow people to be able to have the dignity to die at home with the love and care that's around them.
Right.
I think that's a big benefit that has happened through the course of hospice. It's really neat.
Yeah, it's hard to tell somebody when they come in, and we had 4 losses. We have found people passed away in their home, which, again, I tell them, good job, good job. They were only there 2 days, and, one guy, I think we found him within an hour in that, so that they're not there. Right. I have a brother-in-law who was probably at least a week or so before he was found, and that was only because his friend came back from Maine. Wow. And so it's very dear to my heart that doesn't happen.
Oh, yeah. Gosh.
And that, but we do have to put a disclaimer on our Monday drivers. Monday can be a rough day.
Monday can be. They could be there 3 days at least.
Yeah, well, 2, because we know we were there on Friday.
Right. Okay.
And that, but I tell them we did our job. That is our job, to follow them, to work with them, to keep them home, and to give them the dignity to have that. To die how they wanted to live.
That's awesome, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
Dying with dignity is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it is. And to be with your loved ones and to have your hand and hold them, and it's just something I never knew I would be able to do. I guess you don't understand the gifts that God gives you until he puts you in the position to use them. Really?
And then you're like, oh, God.
I've known a couple of hospice nurses, and they have the biggest heart I've ever seen.
Yeah, today we had a Cord hospice come in, and they talked to us about trying to get involved. They come in once a month and do blood pressure. They want to help us with some of our lady teas and stuff. But I tell them, I don't know what I do without their nurses, because we know who to call, and
Yeah, that's important.
Right.
because if you have no family here and you're not on hospice, who's going to take care of you? The person who's feeding you. And how do you do that when you're 3 or 4 minutes in their home, talking to them, handing them their meal, and how gut-wrenching it is to leave when you understand the conditions on the other side that door are not well.
Right.
And
Yeah, that's tough.
But we're not medically based, so it's so important that we keep that relationship with our hospice nurses and
good.
working with them.
So do you, when your drivers get back from doing their route, from delivering the meals and everything, do you guys kind of keep track of your individual people that you give meals to, how they're doing? Do you ask your drivers, did you speak to them? Did you converse with them? How they look? Do you keep any information about that?
Yeah, so what we do, all our drivers are background cleared. Nobody will go out to feed your parent or be around your loved one who we know would have any kind of record. So everybody is looked at background, and we know we're sending out the best of the best. When we come out, we have our sheets, and depending on who's funding, if it's your self-paying, are we paying through an ACOG, a federal area, kind of determines how we can leave a meal, not leave a meal. But every call and every meal being dropped off requires a wellness, and that's talking to them, noticing if they're having a hard time, things that they need. And because we have a different driver for them every day, what you pointed out is very important. How would the driver tomorrow know what happened to somebody today?
Right.
So we have a log, and they go to a logbook, and every driver, when they get done on both the routes, comment anything specific that they feel the next driver should know about. And then the driver coming in the next day can ask the office, the kitchen, and the book to look at, so that they kind of know when they're going out there what to expect.
Okay.
And then, like, I had one lady was really worried about a client on Monday, and so I was able to send a text out to her hospice nurse right away and say, we're concerned about these couple of things.
That's great, Phyllis. Man, you're just full of information, and we really appreciate you. And we're just usually 3 guys. We got a guy gone today. Phil had a doctor's appointment that he couldn't miss. And we're 3 crazy guys that ride motorcycles around town and have fun. And we love to get back to our community. And so that's why we started this program and this podcast, weekly podcast here on YouTube, and we'll be on Spotify. But Heber-Overgaard is a very tight-knit community, and I feel very special for how long I've lived here.
Yep.
I'm with you.
All right. Well, good deal. Thanks, Jack. Thanks, Phyllis. Appreciate you.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you for taking the time to introduce the senior center back to our community, because we're always evolving, newer people retiring up in that. And I just think it's neat that they know how integral to the community this is for socialization.
Yes.
Well, we do too, and that's exactly why we took this on.
Yep.
This is exactly why we're here with you, to let our community know that they're taken care of if they need anything.
That's it.
Right.
And we've been told that people are actually going, wow, I never knew that.
Yeah. No, it's really great.
We see people at the post office or a restaurant sometime, and they're all like, "Hi, hey, Jacksontown. Jack, are you off today?" It's just funny, and we really appreciate your time and helpfulness, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.